Hey sportsmen, John Bergsman here live on site at, where do you think I'm standing in front of all this Traxstech? The only place in town that's got that much Traxtech, and that is Frank's Great Outdoors in Linwood. We're going to be doing our first Saginaw Bay report of the year. We're going to add to it Monroe, Michigan for Lake Erie walleyes, St Clair for panfish, Port Clinton, Ohio for walleyes. We're going to jump up to Alpena and introduce you to some super good early season Lakers. Then, of course, Saginaw Bay, and we're going to end up, that's right, in the western UP. Can you believe it? They're coho fishing open water on Lake Superior already. Stay tuned for 6, that's right, 6 great reports here on Fisherman's Digest. Hey guys, so first report of the day is from Captain Nick at Real Live Action Sport Fishing, and he's over in the Monroe area right now, and the only way to describe it is the way I described it last week, and that is stupid. It is so good fishing right now. The fish are pre-spawn, and they're getting ready to come up the Detroit River, but the bite in the Detroit River, because of water temperature and a little bit of stained water, has not been really gangbusters yet. Seems like there's a lot of fish out in front of the southern mouth of the Detroit River just staging to come in. So how is Nick catching them? He's catching them in shallow water, 14 to 18 feet of water, so you don't have to go halfway to Timbuktu to catch them. Just basically get out of the harbor, find 14 feet and do a slow troll out to 18, and you can just kind of Z your way down the shoreline headed south towards the Ohio line. Now, the best sets have been 20 to 50 back on brightly colored bandits. Typically on the sunny days, either a chrome-based lure with added color or a shiny gold-based lure with added color seems to be the best. On the darker, cloudy, or really windy days, then the absolute fluorescence, like a white-based body with added color, seems to be working the best. Now the speeds have been 1.3 to 1.7 miles an hour, so again, 20 to 50 feet behind your offshore boards. Let them out, set a spread out, maybe 2 on the outside at 20 back, then 30 back, then 40 back, then 50 back, and then you've got 8 lines out there covering everything you need to know. So 1.3 to 1.7, Z your way from 14 to 18 and back in, and you should catch a bunch of fish right now out of the Monroe, Luna Pier area of the western basin of Lake Erie.
White River Tackle's Perch Pounder is the finest 2-hook perch rig in the industry. Its unique fish skin technology, coupled with a soft glow bead, make the Perch Pounder irresistible to fish. Available in a variety of fish-catching colors, simply tip each hook with your favorite live bait and let the fun begin. So whether it's perch, crappie, or bluegill, ask for White River's Perch Pounder by name.
Say, our next report here is out of the Lake St Clair region, and we got not Captain Nick, but he might as well be Nick Garantakis. He's our field reporter. He's got his buddy Anthony with him practically all the time, and he's got us on kind of a fun perch and panfish bite this week. So everybody else is trying to get the walleyes. Nick and Anthony have been out having a gas catching perch, crappies, bluegills, you name it. Now, on Saturday, they fished the Clinton River. Now, the Clinton River, Nick tells me, was really dirty, but they had super good success, as you can see by the pictures going over the screen, on one of my favorite things to use, and that is, well, not my mask, my little perch pounder here. And Nick was catching them on perch pounders, brightly colored, bright green, bright yellow, bright orange, perch pounders and minnows in 4 to 6 feet of water right there in the Clinton River. Now, it didn't seem to matter that the water was dirty. The fish were in there heavy, and they was catching a lot of fish and just was basically sorting through the fish. So that's the bite there. Now, on the next day, Nick and Anthony went pond fishing, just pond jumping for big specks and big bluegills, and man, they got into some nice ones. So guys, if you're not got a boat, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't catch fish. Right now around St Clair and Saginaw Bay, all the channels, the cuts, the canals, the marinas, they're gonna be loaded up with perch, crappie, bluegill, you know, calico bass, any number of panfish species are going to use those cuts, canals, and marinas right now to get in and spawn. So you can have some great shore fishing action as well. So get out there in the great area around the Lake St. Clair, the Lake St. Clair proper. You don't always have to be out on the lake. Right now, them shallow water channels and marinas are producing lots of fish.
Midwest Steel Carports is Michigan's premier steel building manufacturer. We manufacture and install custom steel buildings throughout Michigan. Our engineer-certified steel buildings are fully tailored to fit your every need, and our up to 40-year warranty protects your investment. From residential storage sheds to commercial warehouses, let our team work with you to find your ideal building. For more information and pricing, visit MidwestSteelCarports.com.
So hey, Port Clinton, Ohio, to this, we just came off a big blow, and a lot of people struggle with big blows, but one of the things you have to understand after a big blow is it's really about finding the clean or the color water that you're comfortable fishing in. You can get in water that's too dirty. Now, Captain Kelly Schmidt from Irregardless Sport Fishing was out on Saturday, had a great day, a boat full of 12 for his two-man party, and he caught them all on bandits. Now, Kelly was running those bandits in about 60 to 100 foot, which is basically 15 to 21 down. Now, he was over 35 feet of water, and he was between the South Bass Islands and the reef structures. So just out in that general area, maybe a mile or two west of Green Island. And those that are familiar with the Port Clinton Bass Islands area know exactly where I'm talking about. That's traditionally an area under a big blow that seems to stay somewhat clean. And Kelly said he was able to find some nice water. It was stained, but it wasn't chocolate milk, and he was able to pull some really nice fish. So he was running 1.3 to 1.5. brightly colored bandits, 60 to 100 feet behind the offshore boards, and then go ahead and just head always downwind. Remember this tip, whenever you're trolling slowly, especially the spring of the year, but anytime your speed is slow, you always want to be going primarily with the wind. You can put a little angle on your boat if you want, but if you're trying to buck the wind and go slow at the same time, you won't be able to do it. Your speed will be inconsistent and your baits won't work right. So whenever possible, troll downwind or at least quarter to the wind to give yourself an accurate speed. So slow speeds, brightly colored bandits, west of the island structure. And if you're looking to get out and your boat's not out yet and you say, geez, I want to catch some of these great big hogs before they spawn, give Captain Kelly, Irregardless Sport Fishing Charters, a call. He can get you out in the greater Port Clinton area.
This is our PBCV-4, planer board caddy, vertical style 4-unit. So this is planer board caddies designed to go right inside of our vertical tree in our slot. 2 stainless steel screws and a stainless steel piece of stock in here, tap, allows our unit to slide up and down anywhere we want it. Holds 4 inline planer boards in here right on the side of your vertical tree to help keep everything neat and cleaned up for you. Our PBCV-4.
So hey, Captain Steve Hubert from Chum Bucket Sport Fishing up in Alpena, Michigan. He's got his boat in the water, and that's danger for every lake trout, coho, steelhead, and Atlantic in the greater Alpena area, because Steve is a master at catching them. He did the shakedown trip. He didn't have a customer with him, but he took his dad and he took his daughter Avery, and they smashed him, as you can see by the pictures going across the screen. This is one of the most undiscovered areas of Michigan. Alpena is like a brainless limit area whenever you're fishing there, if you have any idea of what you're doing at all. So what was Steve doing? Fish are in the greater Thunder Bay right now on ledges 45 to 55 foot down. That's a primary area where that's a great depth. Anywhere on the Great Lakes right now, if you're looking for staging lakers, they're going to be between 10 foot to 50 feet out. And he was catching them same old way Steve always catches fish. He throws wire and coppers, I should say, and wire divers out immediately. So he was pulling Dreamweaver Super Slims, mixed veggies, and Slick Chicken were the 2 best colors. He was out somewhere on his copper rods 125 to 200. Now, if you run copper or don't run copper, the way to understand copper is this. At about 2.5 miles an hour, 100 foot of copper is down 22 feet. That's all you need to know. So when you go 125 feet, that's going to put you down about 30 feet. When you go 200, it's going to put you down about 44 feet. So he was literally skimming bottom with a couple of those. Now, wire divers, it depends on your setting. It's a little bit, it's not complicated, but it's a little different. But basically, it's a 2-to-1 for every foot you go out on a 1 set. And on a 3 set, it's about a 3-to-1. So all you're doing is using your 107s or your 124 Dreamweaver divers to get those lures where you want them. But a spread of Super Slims right now in bright colors, a lot of oranges, a lot of UVs. Super Wonder Bread UV is going to be a great lure this year. We smacked them last year out of Alpena and out of Presque Isle on that lure. So get over to your local shop, get yourself a good splash of Dreamweaver Super Slims. They are an awesome lake trout bait early. And if you're looking to get out and experience the Alpena area, give Steve a call from Chum Bucket Charters. He is already smashed booked, but he's got a few open dates in every month, and he can squeeze you in. He's an awesome guy with an awesome boat in an awesome area. So stay tuned to more Alpena area fishing reports. Check out the full line of Polar Kraft Boats at polarkraft.com. So we got a Saginaw Bay report, wouldn't you know? And it's an early one. Look at us, the first or basically second or third day of spring, and we're sitting here at Frank's Great Outdoors in their great big new display area. It's crazy big. They've got tons of everything. You can't come here anymore and wonder if they've got it. They've got it. That's one of the things I love about Frank's, is they've always got great selection and a good number of all of the different crazy things that people look for as well. But when it comes to walleye fishing, hey, the guys from Sendit Charters gave us a great first report of the year. Now, the fish were being caught 1.2 to 1.4, so super slow. They were in about 22 to 24 feet of water running the whole west shore. Now, he tells me that there's some awesome fish right out of Linwood Beach. So if you just go out of Linwood Beach Marina and just head to the north a little bit and make a long troll along the west shore, going from somewhere between 22 to 25 foot of water, you're going to encounter a lot of marks and a lot of fish. So he was running 2 different lures, a DHJ 12, that's a deep husky jerk 12, and also bandits. Now on the 12s, he was running at 80 to 100 feet back, and then the offshore board, and then run it out. On the bandits, he was running at 60 to 80 back, and then running it out. So if you were thinking of running them both to see which one the fish wanted, I'd run the longer lead DHJ 12s on your 2 outside boards, and on your 2 inside boards, I'd do the harder pulling bandits with a little bit shorter lead, because they're still going to dive deeper. So it's going to work really well for you, and those lines will clear when you get those outside boards trigger. So fish choice of color is really the same as on Lake Erie. You know, you're kind of choosing based on sun penetration, bright day, bright base lures like chromes and shiny golds. Dark days, you're going to use more white base lures or purple base lures with additional color to them, and that's what seems to be working. But whatever seems to be working, Saginaw Bay is open, it's open water, it's firing, and I've got a report coming next week for canal and cut perch fishing from Saginaw Bay. It's just getting rolling, but let me tell you what, that's an exciting thing to do too if you're boatless. So stay tuned to the Fisherman's Digest for all the great information. And if you're looking to get out, get a hold of Sendit Charters here in Saginaw Bay.
Win $60,000 in prizes, including a new StarCraft boat and motor or a new Quest pontoon and motor, and a whole lot more during the big giveaway going on now at the on-site indoor boat show at Lakeside Motorsports and Nelson Speed Shop. Get special early season pricing and boat and motor packages on over 700 boats in stock. Win prizes every weekend now through April 18th. Meet industry experts plus guest seminars. This is big. The big giveaway and on-site indoor boat show going on now at Lakeside Motorsports and Nelson Speed Shop.
So hey guys, last report of the day, report number 6. We're way across the bridge, all the way to almost Wisconsin, to the western Upper Peninsula. And a good friend of mine, Don Gerbovich, I know I butcher his name, I don't even know how to say it, even though he's one of my best friends. So anyway, him and his buddy Shemp, they've already been out on Lake Superior. They went out right on the Michigan-Wisconsin border and then drove themselves into Michigan. And let me tell you, awesome day. Limits of coho already, right there, tight to shore. When I say tight, guys, if you haven't watched that show I did last year about this Lake Superior spring fishery for browns, cohos, and Lakers, you've got to go back onto our YouTube and watch it. It's awesome. It's a great show, and you'll see from the drone footage how far from shore we are. Basically, I can throw a softball and land it on shore, and I'm old. So that tells you how far. Not very far at all. Well, guess what? We're catching them on thin fins. We're catching them on super slims with 1 and 2 colors of lead. You know, your short line and everything, maybe 25 to 40 feet out, running it right tight to the shore and on the deep side, making down passes at 15 to 20 feet, up passes when you turn and go up, you're going to maybe be 30 to 40 feet of water. So super close to shore, bumping your boards and baits against rock and all kinds of structure, bouncing it off gravel and sand. There's all kinds of different things. And we're talking about that last 25 miles of shoreline, basically from Ontonagon to the Wisconsin border. So if you haven't made your plans and you're saying, geez, John, where do I stay? You know where you stay? In Silver City, there's an American sitting right there on the water, looking right there at the boat launch in the water. That's a great spot to choose. You can put your boat right there. They got plenty of parking. They're used to fishermen coming up using that launch and enjoying themselves. So Silver City, all the way to the Wisconsin shoreline, and tight, tight, tight. Browns, coho, Lakers, you name it, they've got it there in the western upper peninsula. You owe it to yourself to experience a trip up there. This bite should go all the way to mid-June. So hey guys, like I said during this report, we're here at Frank's Great Outdoors, and this place is silly. I mean, they've been adding on, they've got stuff hanging all over the walls. We've talked about this in other reports. You want to get down here early, you want to get your base supply of lures bought. I know right now bandits are getting to be in short supply, so many people have bought those out. I know I'm seeing a lot of Dreamweaver product, and I'm surrounded by Traxstech product. If you're here to rig your boat, Frank's has got a ton of the Traxstech stuff right here on the shelf. But most importantly, they got a ton of about everything right now. But guess what? The supply line is still messed up, and come June or July, a lot of this stuff could be cleaned out. And although Larry and the boys bought heavy, I still think you're going to have a little supply issues in late summer. So get here early, get that supply of everything that you need, and be ready to experience all the great fishing that's available here in the great state of Michigan. Hey, thanks for joining us from Frank's Great Outdoors, and thanks for joining us here on the Hot Bite Fishing Report.